Hey guys, welcome to my channel, Realm of Ori. In this video, we will continue with Volume 14, Chapter 2, Future Plans, Part 4. And before we start, this video contains spoilers from the Tensura Light Novel. And by the way guys, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel and click on the bell icon to get notifications for upcoming videos. So without further ado, let's get into the video. Already clear about Bonnie and them, next wanted to understand the factions within the Empire. That being said, it's not about the army, but at least the movement of those who are in the upper echelons, those who have extreme powers. So, tell me about the single digits. Yes, we are in the single digits, which is only 9 at any given time. Something like brushing off acquaintances is also possible in order to be able to ensure that the stronger ones get into the sequence. So it's not unusual for the 9th and 10th places to be interchangeable? The sequence 11 is the auxiliary to the single digits, while the sequence 10 is called the reserve, but this is only temporary and they take over when the single digits fall off. In other words, it is only after awakening and acquiring the ultimate skill that they are first recognized as single digits. Incidentally, the Bonnie sequence has 7 digits and the Jew sequence has 9. The men to be alerted are a sequence of 1 to 6, and a sequence of 8, plus the marshal, at least 8 more. According to Bonnie's instructions, the 10th place in the sequence was quite strong, just that they hadn't acquired an ultimate skill, which might be able to match the awakened demon lord. The difference in strength between the remaining 90 near guard knights, up to the 20th position, and below the 30th position, was equally as high as a wall. What are you talking about? With us as opponents, we won't win without a single injury. That's right, it's more threatening than 1,000,000 troops, or 100 men from the Imperial Order of the Imperial Near Guard. That's the problem. In the old days, the army existed primarily for defense, relying solely on the elite to attack other nations and eliminate their will to resist from the roots, and then sending troops to bring them under the emperor. However, I don't know when I started sending the army first, and I still have my doubts about it. I guess it was for the birth of the awakened one. This expedition is not about winning, is it? In fact, Lord Calgurio has awakened, and there are several others that are about to awaken, and using this war to increase the number of pawns in his hands is the real purpose of Emperor Rudra. This expedition, there are several with signs of awakening. It was not only Major General Calgurio, Major General Minute, Colonel Kansas, and Krishna that I received instructions to assist the awakened in waiting for an escape. It's the first time I've seen a leader's plan deviate so drastically. And, now that it has been made clear that the purpose of the Empire is to create the awakened, it means that we have been wrong in our judgments so far. The definition failed due to insufficient intelligence. To ensure completeness, adopting a redefinition. Don't mind this time, just learn from the experience and improve next time. Understood. Reassessment of intelligence to avoid omissions. It's up to you, really. Rudra is collecting awakened strengths, and although he doesn't want to admit it, I think that something like Bonnie and Jew, whom he conferred ultimate abilities, should be doable. The 8-star demon lords, including me, and the famous heroes of the western states, must gather enough people to defeat them all at the same time, so that they can control the world. What I said, Benimaru and Diablo and others agreed. I agree, it's really tricky. That's why there's this idea that it doesn't matter to anyone other than the awakened, isn't it? Indeed. Human beings are fragile, but with the ultimate skills, they can fight with us in pairs. What can I do? We don't think it's funny either. Well, that's good. If it works, let's just do it. But then, fighting will become boring? Kufufufu. What an ancient way of thinking, Testarossa. For those who do not have a corresponding ability, we just don't use the ability either. With this thought, I've acquired the ultimate skill. What did you say? Isn't that a bit of a trick? You can't run away. The jealousy of those who have not acquired power is delicious. I ignored him because I didn't want Guy to feel that way. Diablo is really capricious. I thought he was agreeing with me, but as a result, the topic got more and more off kilter, and I had to hurry to stop Diablo's rampage, and the aura around Testarossa and the girls started to get restless. Back to the point. According to Lord Rimuru, the Empire's purpose is to select the strong, right? I also agree with his lordship. There were also strong men like King Gazel, Hanada, and Her Majesty Elmisia. It was because of the guardianship of these overlords that the world was able to maintain the balance of war power. Waiting to collect enough to break the balance before starting a formal attack is something I can understand. Rigurd and Kaijin understood my thinking very well. I seek to use the strong to deal with the strong, and let those who can help gather around. In this way of thinking, the weak are completely in the way. It sounds like a lot, but the weak are relaxed. Yes, well, If the strong alone can solve the war, it will be a kind of happiness for the weak. But it is against my aesthetics to need so many sacrifices for the birth of the strong. War leaves those who want to fight and involves the weak in it, an act that is abhorrent to the core. But reality isn't as simple as talking, and the world is hard to predict. By the way, Yuki-chan has said that the Demon Lord guy seems to be unhappy with the increase in the Imperial battle power as well. Why is the strongest guy so vigilant? It makes one wonder. Indeed, as long as you have the ability to investigate, it's only natural that your attack will be effective against Guy, and that you will be alert. Guy's goal is to unify the world with the power of the Demon Lord. Positively confronting empires, the stakes can be said to be completely stacked against each other. It's weird. Why, arrogant Guy, would you allow the empire to exist? Gathering the strong to fight might be more fun, but Guy was unexpectedly serious. It gives the impression that if one can act, one will immediately go out personally to wipe out the foolish ones. Quite simply, there is Lord Velgrynd in that place. To strike out against the Empire would most likely provoke Lord Velgrynd. That's why I'm so honest in the Empire. Upon hearing this, Calgurio gave a surprised look, while Minute whispered, "Is that called honesty?" Although I don't know what Testarossa is doing with the Empire, it is none of my business after all. To avoid even blaming me for the past, these things are ignored. What concerns me more is the name Velgrynd. The name is Velgrynd. Does it mean, what a surprise, primordial white? No, Lady Testarossa, so much respect for the Scorch Dragon that dwells on the burning mountain of the gods. Testarossa was like, "What did you say?" The smile on her face looked at Minute, and Minute hastened to change his words to say so. This convinced me of what Velgrynd is really all about. She's one of only 4 dragon races in the world, the sister of Veldora, who is in charge of the Scorch. This is the real trump card of the Empire. It's not quite right to say respectfully, our relationship with the dragon race is a little more complicated. However, our Lord Rimuru is an ally with Lord Veldora, so isn't it only natural that I should pay my respects to Veldora's sister? That is to say, without my relationship with Veldora, then Testarossa wouldn't have any respect for the dragon race? So that means that Testarossa was so honest because she couldn't win against Velgrynd? Even so, can't you beat Guy? To say if you can win, you can't win. Not mentioning Guy, I at least can't beat the dragon race. It's not a question of strength or weakness, but the fact that it's an indestructible existence like the true dragon race. If Veldora hears this, he will probably laugh out loud again, but never say such things in front of him. Yes, the true dragon race is not even a threat to Guy, but it's impossible to eliminate them, right? Woohoo, don't know. At least with magic, I don't think so. It's not a victory as long as you can't kill completely. That seems to be common sense among demons. If you say so, you really can't beat the dragon race. Well, with a guy like that in the Empire, we can't attack at will. I'm sorry to be rude, but I have something to tell you. As far as I know, the Empire worships Lord Velgrynd as a guardian dragon, and through history, there are accounts of guarding the Empire from angelic attacks, but in the end, it was only because the Empire presented Lord Velgrynd with a tribute, begging her to grant it on a whim. That noble and beautiful true red dragon is the symbol of imperial prosperity. We, single digits, with the approval of His Majesty Rudra, are bound to visit that symbolic dragon and make it remember its name and face on the spot, saying that we will never be hostile to it. Indeed, I was in that ceremony, too. Hostility is impossible. It's not an existence that can be earned. There was a connection between the Empire and Velgrynd, but the Empire side couldn't seem to ask her to do anything. Well, you can keep quiet if you don't want to talk. Which side do you think would win if you fought Velgrynd, the marshal you were talking about? Hey, to put it another way, it's still a guess, but there's always a similarity between the two. Have you ever felt that way? How can? The true face of the marshal is Velgrynd, the Scorch Dragon. It can't be wrong. That's the reason why Demon Lord Guy didn't attack the Empire, was because of Velgrynd's existence. Alas, a rash attack would irritate Velgrynd, and sending an army would most likely be annihilated in one breath. It's an extremely reckless strategy to attack together with Yuki. With Lord Veldora's sister as an opponent, none of us could have won. Shall we ask Lord Veldora to come? Well, how shall I put it? We don't want to involve Veldora in our affairs. And I don't want to have Veldora fighting his own sister, so it's better not to ask him for help. In that case, it is very difficult to know what to do in the future. I'm going to pass this information on to Yuki as well. The legions sent out can't just stay put. Yeah, it's necessary to completely rework the strategy, and it's not okay to not contact Yuki. It looks like this has something to do with Guy too, so I called him in. He'll be here soon, so let's ask the guy together when the time comes. I couldn't help but have a serious expression on my face as I repeatedly stared at Diablo. Seeing his shy expression, I couldn't help but sprout some killing intent. At a time when it is so distressing, this idiot is doing something so redundant. Already? Yes. Yes, I'm angry, but it can't be ignored. Anyway, I broke up the meeting to prepare for Guy's visit.